Welcome to the 52 Love Podcast, your show for 52 lessons in 52 weeks. Before we dive in, remember you can find the audio version of this episode, along with the rest of the series, on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor, and Radio Public. And now, here's your host, Ms. Tonya Todd.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the 52 Love Podcast. 52 Love began as a blog series, 52 Love Lessons in 52 Weeks, and the 52 Love Podcast explores one of those love lessons each week with a new guest. Today, my guest is Brenda Daly. Will you tell us what you do and give us a little bit, tell us what the tip is and what you had to do?
Okay, so my name is Brenda Daly. I'm an actress, writer, producer, director. My tip was to give my husband a card, like go and find a card that kind of suited him and write him a message that was very specific to him. So I think I kind of failed on that whole thing just because he's super funny and he's always cracking the offhanded joke. Usually really inappropriate and catches me at really sometimes not the best time, but he's always the jokester. So I couldn't find one funny enough for him. So I picked this little something about bees and honey and, you'll always be my honey kind of thing. And then I just told him that the thing that I love about him most is that no matter how many years we've been together and how many trying times that we've been together, the one thing that stabilizes me is his ability to make me laugh. Because after 30 years, that's probably the key to why we've been together for so long.
And how did he receive it? How did it go?
He's really not an emotional guy. So he says, I didn't know that. And then he went right back to what he was doing.
Was he disappointed that he didn't have to get naked for it?
Yeah,
because that was his response. That was his response about doing the show.
Right. And the thing is that that's pretty much always his response. Well, do I get to get naked?
The answer is yes.
Yes. Yes. And I think he liked that answer. So yes.
So tell us what you have going on right now.
So I am right now crowdfunding Mom Squad, the series. It's a micro series and I'm using it as a pitch. So basically each episode should be its own short, but if you put them all together, they should make a pitch pilot. So that's kind of what I've been working on since COVID. I started it before it, but it was more like on a lark, like, oh, wouldn't this be funny? And then people really liked the idea. And then they love the catchphrase, Mama's got your back. And then I've been doing little filming when we could due to COVID, we want to make sure we're social distancing. I had to change some of the scenes because of it. But we did as much as we could without any money. So then that's why we decided to crowdfund and the crowdfunding is going really well. We have 4 days left and I'm at 83%. So yay. And this crowdfunding is just to launch the micro series, but okay. I have learned with crowdfunding that it's not about the money. It's about the connections that you make because people pay attention when you crowdfund. And if you crowdfund and you don't do well, they pay attention to that because they feel people aren't excited about what you're doing. But if you do succeed in your crowdfunding, everybody's excited about what you're doing. And then they want to know more. So
well, by the time this episode comes out, the 4 days will have passed. So what is the way that people can support you after this episode comes out?
They can go to Mom Squad on Facebook, or they can go to Brenda Daly on Facebook. And I've got Real Women Podcast on Facebook, but I'm usually 90% on Facebook for the most part. My email is mamasgotyourback@gmail.com.
Okay.
So that's basically how you get a hold of me.
And they can follow the series and follow your success there.
Yeah. And the series I'm going to hopefully put it on Facebook stories and YouTube, and then hopefully it'll catch fire. So that's pretty much what I'm using the crowdfunding money for is marketing. So, of course, feeding people but I really want to take most of the money besides editing into marketing, because I think that's super important.
You mentioned Real Women. Tell us about that.
Real Women is a podcast. It celebrates women in independent film. It actually really celebrates women in all film. I started it because of COVID, because I felt like there's a lot of people that I do a lot of meet and greets in person, and that kind of stopped for me. But I had met some really interesting people, but didn't really get to know them on a one-on-one basis. So I thought it was an opportunity for me to just really kind of dive right in and get to know them. And it's very social and it's fun. And I think that with what's going on in the world today, and women have been kind of underrepresented, that it was an opportunity for them to, thank you, represented. I think it was an opportunity for women to just say, hey, I know I'm not, well known, but here I am, look what I'm doing, and see how far I've come, and look where I'm going. So, and they could follow them a lot. And I interview people from who are just starting out to people who have like been there and back. So, and then this way, you can kind of follow somebody's journey from the beginning, or you can kind of admire their journey from the other side. So,
you want to share any special upcoming guests that you have?
Well, I have you coming up, which I'm super excited about.
Talking about me.
I know. I actually just interviewed Kim Renee. She's the president of Nevada SAG. I thought because there's a lot of people in town that are very curious about what's going on with SAG. And what's going on in Nevada SAG, because, we are in Nevada, we're very underrepresented, and it's not their fault. It's just that they don't have the resources because of the tax incentive. We're not getting those people. New Mexico's getting those people. Atlanta's getting those people. And, we only have $10 million. New Mexico has $500 million. So
that's a huge difference.
Right. And so the information for us was that that's what they're working on. They're trying to a big tax incentive. I know they've gone and they failed, but in the past, or they got it and then Tesla took it. So right now they're really fighting for our tax incentive and to bring in bigger projects and to hire local talent. And those big tax incentives, that's what it's for. So if we got a big tax incentive, they would come here. We're literally right around the corner. And I felt it was very important to get her message out about that.
She was forward to hearing that one.
Yeah. So I asked her, because I am not a SAG member. I do not have enough credits, but I asked her if I could sit into a meeting, and she said that she would work that out for me, because, the more attention we bring to it, the more important it is for our community. Because I'm not planning on moving to LA anytime soon. This is my home base. This is where my family is. And I think we can get a lot done out here, because we pretty much know everybody in the film community. And when new people come in, we usually go, hey, come into our group. And we always try to help each other out. Yeah. So I think we really need to push for this, especially in this particular time, because LA has been shut down. I know they're doing a lot of little stuff, but they're doing nothing compared to Atlanta. And so why aren't they coming here? That's literally over 3,000 miles away. So this would be super important for us if we could rally together. And they brought in another contract for smaller budgets. I think it's under $10,000, so that the contracts aren't as complicated for people who did want to use SAG actors. So I don't really know exactly what the contract is. She's going to show that to me. But, as a filmmaker, it's not that I don't want to use SAG actors. I just worry about the complications that's involved.
Right.
So and the liability that's involved. So, but it may be not a problem at all. I need someone to literally talk me through it. I cannot read a contract to save my life. I need someone to actually speak to me in layman's terms. This is exactly what this means. And then I could feel more comfortable. And I'm sure other filmmakers feel the same.
Right. Everyone has a different skill set.
Right, exactly. But as a filmmaker, an independent filmmaker, you kind of have to know everything, especially if you're super low budget like I've been, you know. So
what else do you have going
on? Let's see. I just got accepted to the Lucky 777 challenge as a team leader and director. So I'm super excited about that. But the film has to be a feature-length film. They're giving you $10,000 to make it.
It's amazing.
You have to. That's amazing. But you can't raise any more money. That's what you get.
Everyone has the same budget. Well, I mean, that makes it fair, right?
Right. Everyone has the same budget. And then it has to be completed by November 30th. But they give you $7,000 to shoot, and you get 7 days to shoot it, and you get 7 crew members. But, it seems like a lot of money, but then I think, wow, that's only $1,000 a day.
Right.
That's kind of frightening.
It's a lot compared to what people usually get when they're starting out. So,
right.
I mean, you've had to throw together things with zero budget. So now you have a budget. It's not the budget you need for some of the bigger projects, but it's
right.
Dealing with some real money here.
Well, exactly. And the other thing too is that, I have to write something from scratch because I have to work within the budget that I've been given. And then of course the storyline is I'm trying to keep it not complicated. I find that I complicate everything. So, I'm 45 pages into my script. I've been given the assignment 2.5 weeks ago, and the script has to be completely finalized, ready to shoot by April 30th. And so somebody just dropped out because they were like, yeah, I can't do this. And I'm like, no, I'm doing this.
Yeah, you can do it.
Yeah. And I'm the underdog because a lot of these filmmakers they've been filmmakers for a while. They've got things released, all over the place. Joe Luan is probably the top dog in this whole competition. So, but I'm just going to stay my course. And my whole strategy is I'm going to just root for all the other filmmakers because we are a community. It's not about winning a trophy for me. It's about completing the project and kind of being handheld in those areas that I am lacking.
I mean, overall, the community overall, don't you think?
I think it's great for the community because they're planning on doing this again and again and again. So
right, even we could get 7 great films out of Las Vegas, and that would be
every year. Every year, and they're all planning distribution for all of them. So then, of course, you have to write a film that is distribution worthy because so there's certain genres you can't do, unless you have name talent. Well, with $10,000, you don't really. It's really $7,000. $3,000 is for post.
Okay.
So it's going to be kind of hard to get a name talent to do your film in order to get those big box office to do like a romance or a romantic comedy or a comedy. So, then you've got to think, well, it's got to be some sort of action film or horror film, because drama is probably not going to cut it. You know what I'm saying? So, maybe in the future they'll do, maybe some bigger names will pop in just to be nice, but yeah, it's a challenge because you really have to think about all the actual business aspect of doing this.
So what if you had a wish list, what would be on it to help you with this?
With the project?
Yeah.
Right now, my wish list is to get the script done, and then
things that other people can help you though in ways that other people can help.
Actually, locations are really hard for me. Actually, a mom squad, I have kind of like a Harry Met Sally kind of thing, and I'm really having a hard time finding a adult bookstore, like a sex toy shop.
Okay,
that's been a really difficult location, and it's such a funny episode that I have to get that done. But as far as the 777 challenge, right now I'm actually looking for a front of a house with a white picket fence and a house that I can use to shoot, because that's going to be my major location besides the desert. And we have a bar. We actually have a bar scene, but there will be a fight in the bar. So of course you have to tell people that.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's kind of thing. And of course, I'm keeping the cast super small, except for a couple of extras because of the funding. So right now, I don't really know. I've had a lot of people say, oh, we have this actor and that actor, but I'm going to audition all the actors. I feel like that's the only fair way to do it. I could cast my friends, but then it's kind of not fair. This is supposed to be a community project. So
right.
that's how I'm going to do it.
And your friends may not be the best people for the parts. You want what's best for the project.
Exactly. And the script's changing. So I feel like, I don't even know what it is. So how can I be casting right now? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And I don't want to cast around the people. I want to cast around the characters. That's, I've cast around people before. It's fun. It's fine. I have no problem with it. But this particular thing I'm taking extremely I know how I want it to look. I know how I want it to feel. And it is a kick-ass feminist chick flick, because I decided that there's two women in charge, me and Julie Garcia Briseño, and we're just gonna go for it. We're gonna do the kick-ass supernatural chick flick. So awesome. We're pretty excited. Yeah, it's called Angelique Rogue Angel.
Love it.
Yeah. A chick on a bike.
So when you are casting, where should people watch for that?
Actually, they're doing, if you go onto the 777 challenge on Facebook right now, they actually are posting. I don't know what I think it's 777challenge@gmail.com.
So but you might using the same email address for casting?
Yeah, I think it's Lucky. I don't even know what the email is, honestly. You need to go to the Lucky 777 challenge on Facebook, and there is a email there. And what you do is you just put your stuff up, send your picture, your resume, and your reel.
Well, I have to say, I did that yesterday, but it was just for one person because he was the only one who put it on there. I didn't realize it was for everybody.
Yeah, if you put it on what they're doing is they're pooling all the actors, they're pooling all the directors. It's actually a brilliant move. Like, I was talking to Ben Stover yesterday, and I was like, this is such a brilliant move. And he goes, we're hoping that this catches fire, and then maybe we do it in like the next state and the next state, and then have them running kind of like the 48-hour.
Yeah.
But they feel like a budget is the best way to go, and they will be crowdfunding. So I think they're planning on crowdfunding the beginning of next month. So they're going to do a big crowdfunding campaign, and they're doing it for 7 films. So that should be, I think it's going to be great for everybody. And I think it'll be really successful. I know it's stressful because I'm stressed out, and I have an
exciting opportunity.
It is. And for me, it's the perfect opportunity. There's another woman, Deborah Richard, and I guess she's an editor and a cinematographer in her own right, but she's never made a feature of her own. So I see her posting all the time. I haven't met her, but I was like, you go, girl, you go, because it's, she's super excited because she kind of feels like I do. This is our chance. This is our moment.
Right. I mean, you're rooting for everyone,
Exactly. Like, hey, I'm not a big trophy person. I could care less. The trophy is getting the project done and making it beautiful.
Right. I mean, bottom line, that's what you get out of this, whether you get the top spot or not, you're going to have a completed project, and you had some money to work with finally.
And distribution.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're taking, once that you finish the film, they're going to handle all the distribution. So that's great. Stone. It is really, it's such an opportunity. Ronnie Lloyd Nanos is the one who contacted me, said, you should apply for this. And I was like, okay. And I was working on the Mom Squad, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to take an entire day and just write a kick-ass letter and just say, this is who I am. This is what I did. I have 2 short films with links to them. I just sent them all my links. I sent them what I thought the project should look like if I was going to make a project for something like this. And I sent them like a 15-page treatment, which I'm totally not doing. I'm doing something totally different. but it was kind of like the mood and the tone of what I think would work in this. And I was actually very pleasantly surprised that I got picked, because I looked at a lot of the people that didn't get picked, and they've been doing it way longer than me. So I got my work cut out for me for sure.
Well, congratulations. And I think we're going to be awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, yeah.
So that's about it for our time, but I do want to know, with the card, you didn't find the right card. Do you think you'll try it again with a little more time to find the specific one for him?
I probably will try, but I think he's more of an appropriate, like, Happy Valentine's Day, you're a riot kind of guy. You know what I mean? So I think I would definitely try it again. I know he has sent me some cards, but you know, he's the fart card guy. So I don't know.
The thing is, he knew this one was coming. It was supposed to be a surprise for him. Maybe next time, mail it and just have it show up and him not expecting it and see how that goes.
You know what? I'm going to do that, and I will send you an email and see how it goes. And I'm not going to say a word. Plus, you know, I smeared the ink. It was kind of messy.
Okay. But you didn't fail. I mean, obviously you love him. You're showing him that you love him. And when you try again, he'll be like, yep, she's a catch.
Yeah. Well, I think too, I make him nets because I'm always all over the place. So he's like, can you just sit down and have a glass of wine? Just one glass of wine. It's okay.
Chill, honey, chill.
That's right. That's right. Well, thank you for having me on the show. This is great.
Tell everyone where they can find you again and the best way to support all of your projects.
You can find me on Facebook as Brenda Daly. And then you can definitely follow Mom Squad on Facebook. I would love that. As many followers as I can get. And then you can watch us grow, because Mom Squad's, I think I'm going to hit this one out of the park for sure.
Very cool. Thank you again for being on the show. And thank you everyone for watching and listening. Remember, if you're enjoying this program, be sure to subscribe, like, and share. And until next time, remember to treat love as a verb.